Hello, Namaskar. Hope you all are doing good. I welcome you in my new video where today I'll be explaining and discussing the liberalization policy in India. This is very important topic. Reason this topic actually gives you a little insight to understand how this development process have been evolved in Indian economy. See, liberalization is something very important. How it is important, we will be discussing in this video. We will, at the end of this video, you will be able to understand what it's mean and what are its features and its importance. Okay, so liberalization is something that relates with deregulating. Now, deregulating means you are giving freedom. You see, if I talk about the introduction part, as you can see here, so let me bring my highlighter first. I have pointed out 3 bullet points over here. As you can see, the first that represents with the term. This term has been originated in the 19th century. How it comes into the limelight? There's an important name I have mentioned here, Adam Smith. Adam Smith is the father of economics. Now, the famous writings of Adam Smith, he had come with this principle of laissez-faire. This laissez-faire, this is a policy of deregulation. That means freedom, restriction, or remove all the restrictions. So this laissez-faire policy is something that gives you freedom to do business. That represents a laissez-faire. So this laissez-faire, which has been found in the writings of Adam Smith, who was the father of economics, becomes very popular in the 19th century. This 19th and early 20th century is very important from economic history point of view, because so many changes, many renaissance, many development, evolution, brainstorming had happened in those centuries. So the second bullet point here I have mentioned here, the meaning. As you can see here, that the term is basically relates with to remove or to deregulate the economy. Deregulate means to remove all sort of restrictions. Liberalization means to give freedom. Okay, so you are giving freedom. To whom you are giving freedom? To establish industries. Okay, from India's point of view, liberalization means the government is giving freedom to the entrepreneurs. You can start the business, you can enter, you can expand your business, you can establish industries without the restrictions, without the licenses or approval by the government. So as you can see, in the second bullet point here mentioned that the term is used to show the direction of economic reforms with the decreasing influence of the state and increasing influence of the free market. So here it is very important, this decreasing influence of the state and increasing influence of free market. Free market means that there is no restrictions, everything depends on demand and supply. Okay, and decreasing state of influence of state, that means here state represents the government. So here in liberalization we are moving from decreasing the government's interferences, okay, to the increasing influence of free market. Here free market, it's totally depends on the choice of consumers. Here totally it refers to the market forces, the demand and supply forces. Then lastly, the objective was to move from a regulated system to a new system where regulations were to be reduced. So the liberalization is talking about that there should be no regulation, there should be no restriction. I mean, there should be restriction free environment should be given to establish industries, factories. So this is the introduction where we have understood from where this word has came from and what it really means. So it means it is moving from decreasing influence of the state to the increasing influence of the free market. Now we'll talk about the features. Features is important. Features gives you more insight of the meaning of liberalization. As you can see here, 8 features are given over here. So we'll start with the delicensing process. Earlier what used to happen, delicensing means Before, I'm talking about before 1991, because remember 1991 year is very important, because in that year this LPG policy, liberalization, privatization and globalization has been adopted as a part of economic reforms in India. So before 1991, what used to happen? There was a regulatory system. This regulatory system is of licensing. That means to establish any industries you need to take a license and approval from the government. Gradually it has been found that this process of getting licenses, getting the approval from the government, it took a lot of time, and it basically reduced the output of the industrial growth. Industrial growth has been hampering because of this long procedure or this bureaucratic procedure of getting the approval. So government said okay, except for the five industries. Now what are those five industries? Let me tell you here: alcohol, cigarettes, dangerous chemicals or hazardous chemicals, okay, then defense equipments and industrial explosive. I'm repeating: alcohol, cigarette, dangerous or hazardous chemicals, defense equipments and industrial explosive. These, except these five industries, if any entrepreneur wants to open up industries or expand their industries, except these five industries, now they may do it without the approval or without the licenses getting from the government. They are free to do so. That's the crux of liberalization in delicensing process. Then in the second, you see here controlling in relaxing and controlling monopolies. So in India we have a act that is called MRTP Act. This is an act, this is a law. The full form is Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act. This was the act which is in India. I am referring to the year 1985 or 1986. That time, in that act it is written, firms, those assets, firms which have the assets above 100 crore, if their assets value is above 100 crore, they need to take permission to enter into industries, selected industries by the government. So but now with this liberalization, what had happened? Monopoly houses, now they don't have to wait for the prior government approval for expansions or establishment of a new industries. If they want to establish a new industries, if they want to expand their existing business, they may do it without the permission or approval from the government. Then industrial location policy liberalized. Here it's very simple. Industrial location policy, that means now there is no need to obtain approval of the government except for the industries, except for those five industries. That means if wherever you want to open up your industries, the suitable area, if you're the place where you want that their industry should be opened up, established, now you don't have to go for the approval by the government. You may do it except for the five industries which I've already mentioned. Then you see here next, liberalization of capital market. So capital market is a market where dealing of shares and debentures are being done. Okay, so this capital market, see, liberalization means government started deregulating. Now government stopped controlling, but what government did, they established a body to regulate them, okay, to keep a check on them. Like in capital market, there is a body that is called SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India. The purpose of formation of this body is to keep a check on the share market or capital market, that there should be no malpractices should happen. All things should be worked in a systematic with the rules, abiding with the rules. So this liberalization of capital market, a new concept or new market has been established. Now this market totally deals with the issue of shares and debentures, and to look after that there should be no malpractices happen. SEBI, that means Securities and Exchange Board of India, had been set up as a watchdog, or as a to keep a vigil, to keep eye on the activities going on in the capital market. Then next you see here foreign exchange market reforms. This is again important, foreign exchange market. So foreign exchange market, you see what happened in India usually before 1991. See, foreign exchange means when you need to purchase $1, just I'm giving an example. Say for to get $1, to get $1, you need to pay say for 70 rupees. So you are paying 70 rupees to get $1. So this is your exchange rate. So under foreign exchange market rate, usually exchange market internationally followed in international market also, or internationally, two types of exchange rate are followed: fixed exchange rate and flexible exchange rate. Flexible exchange rate started following in India post liberalization. After liberalization we started following flexible exchange rate. This flexible exchange rate gives you total freedom. That means the foreign exchange rate will be determined at that point where demand and supply is equilibrium. That means earlier government used to fix the rate that for $1 for purchasing $1 that much INR you have to pay. But now post liberalization flexible exchange rate has been followed. That means it depends totally entirely on the demand and supply. It entirely depends on the market forces. So this way the government regulations has been removed. Then you see here ease of doing business. This term is very new. Why I'm saying so? Because ever since the NDA government has come to the power, this point has been given more emphasis. Ease of doing business. Here, as a part of this policy, what NDA government has done, they have removed all the existing rules. Whatever the existing rules regarding various licenses and permissions, now they have been simplified. So it becomes easy to start or run a business now. Then foreign trade reforms. Under foreign trade, you see it has also gone under a very big and drastic and substantial change, I would say. The policy of liberalization has led to freedom to import capital, goods and technology. Liberalization has made it possible to purchase good technology, capital goods from other countries. Import quotas. First, what used to happen before this 1991 or before this liberalization policy, pre-liberalization policy, when you have to import or purchase a capital goods or any technology from any other country, you have to pay a import duty or quota, you may say. But post liberalization, this import duty or this tax has been removed. You can understand this way. So it becomes easy to do the foreign trade. Foreign trade means when you are doing selling or purchasing with country other than India, right? With international body, internationally when you are doing the transaction, that comes under foreign trade. Then lastly, you see here other changes. This is again important, like several changes. Here this changes I'm referring to the Reserve Bank of India. That means I'm talking about the commercial banks or price controls, right? So for looking into the market of commercial banks, that no commercial banks should do any malpractices, a regulating body has been formed. Now what is this regulating body? It is named as Reserve Bank of India. The purpose of Reserve Bank of India establishment of Reserve Bank of India is to see whether all banks should work for abiding the rules. There should not be any malpractices, right? Even if there any problem comes, then RBI gets directly to take action against that particular commercial bank. So this way, these other changes, financial reforms have been introduced. So this liberalization has helped in deregulating. Liberalization has helped in deregulating all the restrictions to ease. The purpose is to ease of doing business. Now, if we talk about the importance, what are its important? I'm summed up in a very simply and 3 point. Overcome of control Raj. Before liberalization, for every purpose, everything, establishing, expansioning, or to introducing, for every sort of business or establishment of any factories, industries, manufacturing unit, you need to wait for the approval of the government. This was termed as a control Raj, which has been abolished now, except for the 5 industries. Remember, freedom to entrepreneurs. Now it becomes easy for the entrepreneur to get into the new business, to expand and set up the business place, the places at their own choice, with this looking after all the suitability. Then it since entrepreneurs are given freedom, so it raises the spirit of competition, a healthy spirit of competition. This investment, that means this healthy spirit of competition, that means it has increased efficiency in the economy. Efficiency, how it has increased? It has given encouragement to the entrepreneur to undertake investment, huge investment, because they now know, okay, if we have got a huge sum of money, we can invest it without waiting for the approval of the government. Alright, so this was all about the liberalization. So in a gist, if I say, so liberalization is all about deregulating the economy from the restrictions. If you have any doubt, do comment in the comment box. I hope this video helps you to understand the topic. Please do subscribe the channel. Thank you.